TheCharlesLloyd.com.
Hello there, welcome to Westminster. I'm in London for some work today, but I am being a bit of a tourist. So there you have it. There's where William walked in and tied the knot. He seems to be getting on with his lady Kate. The two of them are very happy together and have their love. How are you? I'll try not to look at it too much. I'll try and let you see all the fun. Now, I've just been I didn't know this. I've been in London, but down there is Dean's Yard. How are you? Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Angus. My life has been extremely busy. But down there is Dean's Yard, Angus, where there's a choir school and the choristers that would have sung for Will and Kate. They're there. And also the guys that were singing at Kate's sister's posterior. That was very popular in this particular part of town. So, there we are. We have the Westminster Cathedral, where they Cathedral and Westminster. "41 degrees. Angus, I'm coming. Annie, how are you? Yes, I'm here now. I don't know if you saw my morning vibe, 3 a.m, that's when I got started today. Now, if you're ever here taking in the ambience of Westminster Abbey, as you see, there's a very good vendor there. Abby's here, is she? Hello, Abby. Marvellous stuff. Now, let's go for a little walk in the gardens, see what's going on. It's very encouraging today. We've got lots of tourists, which is always good. Hello, tourists, how are you? Thanks for coming. Marvellous, all the best. Excellent. So that's all good? Welcome to London. Excellent. I'm going down like a cup of cold sick, but never mind. It's not Ivy Bridge, is it? Hey. So I have been travelling around the UK, and hopefully it's not going to stop. And we'll be in Edinburgh in August, of course, won't we, Annie? It'll be very exciting. I'm looking forward to that. Got to get that finalised by March. So, yeah, this is the splendour of where many famous people have got married, and they have quite a good job, the people that get married in there. Some of them own a country. Some of them work for people that own a country. See, oodles of tourists. Hi, good to see you. Marvellous. Excuse me, gentlemen. Thank you very much indeed. So yes, it's lovely and busy here. How are you? Very well. Marvellous. Welcome. Thank you. Excellent. And there's me pretending I'm famous, and they're all thinking I'm an absolute Richard Head. Work out what's short for Richard. So here's another smaller place, which I know sweet Fanny Adams about. Let's take you over. So they're singing the Eucharist today. Communion, for those of you that don't do Christianity. This is a rather nice building I know nothing about. It's St Margaret's Church, Westminster Abbey. So you've got the big old grand Abbey there, and then you've got this St Margaret's Church. St Margaret was actually quite cool, apparently. She's famous for being St Margaret. I need to go to theology school. I'm trying to keep me out. I've unfortunately chipped a tooth, so I'm trying to keep that part of my face down as well. I haven't got time to have it fixed. I'm in the dentist. That was a leaf on my head, wasn't it? See? So you see a lot of posh people in this area doing posh stuff, which is really rather good. Now let's go over. Do you want to see where Dave works? Dave and Nick and quite a few other people. I think there's 365 of them work in this particular corporation. So there is St Margaret's Place. It's quite nice. It's lovely, in fact. Now, here we have where it all happens, where this great empire is spoken about a lot. Okay, here we go. So, over there, in the distance, not that building there, whoa, that building over there is the House of Commons, where the common people, 365 of them, go in there and start to try and make laws on how they think the country would be better. So these are representatives of the Commons. That's me. Over there you have Westminster Abbey, where the Queen will be lying in state. Lots of people have lied in state there. And behind all that is the House of Lords, where the Lords decide if the people from the House of Commons have come up with a good idea. Now, if the two of them agree, it then goes over to a place which is about a mile down the road called Buckingham Palace, and good old Queen Elizabeth will sign a piece of paper, and it then becomes an act of government, which is cool, which I quite like actually. It's a long process, and if you're caught in the midst of it, I should imagine it would be quite tedious. Yeah, so here we go, walking along, lots of happy faces. Looks like an MP's been sacked, look. Move business class. I wonder who's been caught with their trousers down. Well, we've got lots of ladies in there now. Maybe they were caught with their lingerie down, who knows? I haven't read the newspapers today yet. So look at all these lovely tourists. And I do like Westminster because the police still wear the costume, the uniform. Yeah, they still wear the uniform because I find it very tedious. Sorry to be a snob, but where they all walk around in their high-vis vests, looking like commandos rather than police officers. Yeah. Anyway, enough of me. Did you see it? So would you like to cross the road with me? No, it's probably not a good idea. Were you watching my Snapchat story when I was saying about Pelican Crossing? This is a Pelican Crossing. That is Big Bed, and this is TheCharlesLloyd. So, as you can see, a Pelican Crossing has no zebras on it. That's the difference. That's off to Oxford Circus, where I'll be going shortly. I was going to say taxi, but if I'd said it loud, he would have stopped, and that would have been annoying for him and me, because I wouldn't like anyone to see anyone be annoyed with me. Hey, Russia, how are you? So here we are. That's a golden tour bus. How jolly exciting. Right. Good luck. Excellent. So look at all these lovely tourists. Marvellous. Royal Britannia. Yes. She did rule the waves. Lovely lady Britannia was. So here we are. See that big building over there? That's where all the civil servants hang out. You've got tax over there. Shh. They used to have a big building down the road, but we've gone skint as a country, so we don't have that anymore. So we're gonna... This is me jaywalking. Sorry, I didn't say that, did I? So I've just done some jaywalking. I got away with it. And I'm going to walk into a sea of tourists now, which is jolly good fun. Thank you. Thank you for investing in our country. Thank you for taking the time to save your money to come to England to share in our decadence and ambience of what was once a great empire. So over here we have the tax office. If you get called in there, you've probably done something very wrong, or you're very important. I've never been in there. Hopefully I will never be in a position to earn that much money to upset people if I didn't pay it. But if I was, that's where I'd go. And maybe one day I'll take you over to the High Courts. But for today, this is where Tony Blair started walking to work. Old Maggie and John, they used to get a car, but because of course, what's his name? Tony, Tone, Ant, whatever he's called. Young man, loads of kids, quite virile. He decided he was going to walk, which is a good situation. You can start your day in a nice way. Back on and earths. Yes, here we are. Now, if you watch a lot of films, ladies and gentlemen, about Great Britain, that actually is a very popular location point. Say please. Please. Hello, Lyra, how are you? I hope I pronounced that right. I'm not famous for pronouncing things right. Now, so we've seen that building over there. Civil servants. Very good job being a civil servant. I would say. You don't get much pay, but you're guaranteed a job for life, unless of course there's a revolution and we all get shot. But one hopes that doesn't happen anymore. So here is another grand building, which is quite good. And do you want to go and see Dave's pad? Sometimes the police are friendly, sometimes they're not, sometimes I'm brave enough to ask, sometimes I'm not. Let's see how we go. So here we have a tree. That's made of wood. Sorry, I was being a silly arse. There's a modern building. Unfortunately, we had a dispute with some of our cousins from Europe, and some of these buildings did fall between in the early part of the century. But we'll brush over that. Over there, in the distance, is where King Charles I, he had his head chopped off. Basically, there was a bunch of Roundheads that didn't like Cavaliers, and they had a big old fight, and unfortunately Charlie lost, and Oliver won. But Oliver was a dreadful statesman, and they ended up bringing back his son Chas II to be king. And he died, King Charles II died of eating a bad goose egg. Yes, he was a very decadent man, and the goose egg was eaten, and he got food poisoning from the goose egg, and his physicians over-treated him, and he ended up dying not from the goose egg food poisoning, which he would have got over, but his physicians being too zealous and probably wanting to charge a big fee. So this is a pity, because when I was a kid, we didn't need all that. You used to be able to walk past number 10 and wave your Prime Minister. Now we've got a load of silly arses that keep being silly, and we can't do it. So those chaps have to spend all day guarding here, which is a disappointment. But if I'm lucky and do something good in my life, I might get invited to number 10. But the chances of that are very slim. Thanks, guys. All the best. Cheers. So down there's Dave. He's the Prime Minister. Got elected twice so far. They don't like to do 3 terms because any Prime Minister in this country that's done 3 terms has gone completely nuts. But anyway, that's why the Americans are very sensible, only have a president twice. So, we're walking along. How are we, ladies and gentlemen? Now, I don't know if you've seen on the 11th day, on the 11th hour, this is where we hang our poppies and stuff, which is rather good ceremony, so we remember our dead. And over where all these chaps are standing over there, we get past this monument here, marvellous. That's where King Charles I got his head chopped off. It wasn't very nice, actually. In those days, there was a tradition to tip the executioner, and he didn't tip the executioner, so he used a blunt axe and took 7 blows to take his head off. So that must be really, not only was he having a bad day, he was having a painfully bad day, because nobody's actually come back and told us what it's like to have your head chopped off. Now I'm going to keep rambling for a bit. These buildings are now, we're still in Whitehall where it all happens, Civil Servant City. It's all good, nothing's bad, but you'll want to see a Grenadier Guard now on these horses. So there's a pretty, this is Haig up there. He was the Field Marshal during the Great War, which was between 1914 and 1918. A jolly harrowing one that was as well. Poor chaps that had never left their home suddenly ended up in all sorts of places being shot at and covered in mud. Probably not a very good idea, and yeah, we will brush over that. So let's enjoy the splendour. We're walking down Whitehall, and let's have a look at one of these lovely Gigis. Anybody out there a horse enthusiast? Let's look at these chaps. So this is all very good. I don't know if they speak, but here we have how cool. I'll try and get a little bit close. That is a fantastic horse. Are you allowed to speak?
Not really.
Okay, I'll be quiet then. But this gentleman is doing, yeah, he's got a beautiful horse. Look at that horse. Hello, horse, you're beautiful. Well, all the best, young man. Yes, they're jolly nice chaps. Here we are. There's another